really bright.
If you tap on the screen, does it fix it? There.
Is it better?
So.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Oh, okay. Okay, can I start?
I don't even know what you're doing. You just have me sit down.
I guess you need to talk about how we got engaged.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. I know I haven't done a video in like 4 months, but this video is very important because it's my first video with my fiance, and we've only dated like 4 years. But this is gonna be our engagement video. We're gonna be super quick, and I'm pretty much gonna let Christopher take the lead.
I'm not taking the lead.
Because
this is
it
your
was
YouTube channel.
You proposed.
You know, I spoke about it on my podcast and my YouTube, and you speak about it on yours.
Okay, well, first of all, the biggest question I've gotten asked is, did you know, like, this was coming? And I honestly had no clue because he just started his Olympia prep, right?
Was that in prep, technically? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you were.
It was, yeah.
You were. And this trip to Arizona, he was going for Raw, correct?
Yeah, an event.
He had an event. We were in Canada. It was my 29th birthday. And he's like, babe, I booked like we went to Arizona for this event. So in Canada, he was like, okay, for your birthday, when we're in Arizona, we'll go to Sedona and like have a little staycation.
I mean, and like a year, 2 years prior, I fucked with you all the time saying it wasn't gonna happen. My parents were together for 5 years before getting married, and I always told her that, like, and they're still married after like 40 years. So I always told her like that's like the perfect number. And
5 years.
It worked for them. And I'm always like, who cares when you get engaged? You know, like, I love you. I want to spend my life with you. And we obviously speak about that openly. What does a ring have to do with it? What does the wedding have to do with it? And I was kind of just fucking with her so that she didn't know it was ever coming. So like preliminary for like a year or two, like just like kept saying that and saying that, so she never had any idea when it would be. And I just kept that consistent.
Literally
story.
a year, because we went and like, he picked out my ring, but we went and like tried on different, like my ring size. I didn't even know my ring size.
Yeah.
A year prior, and like crickets. There was no indication of it happening, coming up. I started to kind of feel like, oh my God, I'm 29 and I know age doesn't have anything to do with it, but I don't know, I wanted it. I've been with you for a long time. We've been together for a long time. And like, we wouldn't go look at rings in my mind if it wasn't serious and it was happening. So back to the story, we go to Sedona for my belated 29th birthday. And then, can you explain it? Because it was like your thing.
Where do I even start?
Explain how you got me up on the rock, because everyone wants to know that.
Onto the rock?
Yeah.
Okay, so for her birthday, a month prior, I was planning I was gonna do it in Sedona, so I had to like pretend like I was getting her a gift that wasn't related to that. So the gift I got her was a trip to this beautiful resort in Sedona, and I just said it was for her birthday and it's gonna be our last hurrah before I'm like deep into prep where I can't even like do that at all. I brought my meals with me and everything, but like I could still like enjoy a little bit of food. So I did that, we got there, and then Calvin was down for the event. We had a Airbnb in Scottsdale. Calvin was there with us, my videographer, photographer, for the event because he follows me everywhere. And then he was supposed to be shooting a photo shoot for Raw the day before my event. And he told Courtney he also was shooting the day after the event, which was a lie, so that she thought he was busy, and that's why he was staying longer. So after my event, we go to Sedona, Calvin staying back, and he's like, oh, my guy's canceled on me, like, blah, blah. I've always wanted to do a shoot in Sedona. And me and Calvin were like talking when she'd leave the house and like plan this. So he was like playing it off that, because he loves photo shoots, obviously. He played it off that he always wanted to do a photo shoot in Sedona, and him and Courtney do more like fun photo shoots than I do. Like, I don't really like photo shoots.
I've shot with Calvin.
I do it for work, and I do it because I have to, and then I don't like being on the camera. And then, so we're in Sedona, he's talking about coming down, and he's like playing this little sad card, like he's alone and blah, blah, blah. And Courtney's like, okay, like, yeah, you can come down and shoot. He's like, awesome, I'll come. And it's all within his behavior. So I had to act a little reluctant to be within my behavior, be like, oh my God, really? Like, you're gonna come down and like, blah, blah, what are we gonna do? And he just had to push it onto Courtney, and then they agreed, and I'm just like quietly in the background, like, not stopping it enough, but not also saying I want him to come to the photo shoot, because that's out of my character. So that was like the struggle we had for a while, and then Calvin was driving down, and he got there like probably 2 hours before you knew he got there, and we were like texting me, he was sending me pictures. There was a spot I had been in contact with the resort where they said someone had proposed before, and it looked like shit, Calvin said. It would have been horrible, and that's where I probably would have ended up, because I don't know these things very well, but he's got an eye for it. So he spent an hour looking around the resort, and he found this little like rock you could climb up that you would never expect, because it's literally, the resort was like little condos. You walk out of a condo and then straight up a rock. And you like climb the rock right up there, and it's right there.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're in the middle of nowhere. And from where we are, you can't see anything because the rock is angled up and the resort's underneath. But we're actually right beside where we were. So he then texts her, he's like, oh, I'm here. Like, I found a cool spot. Like, let's do this photo shoot. And Courtney's like, well, I'm wearing heels. Like, do we have to hike? I don't want to hike. Let's just do it down here. Like, we can do it. And then this is when I had to be a little bit like, oh, like,
yeah.
He drove all this way. He drove like 2 hours. Like, fuck it. Like, let's just go do this shoot. And that was when Courtney kind of was like, even that little bit of me saying I was willing to do this shoot, she was suspicious because like,
yes.
I'm reluctant.
Yeah, and you are not one, like you said, to go shoot or want to do like things where I'm like, let's do it. It'll be fun. It'll be cute.
I do
like
things, I just don't like photo shoots.
Yeah, photo shoots or even like cringy photos. You don't like.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to do that.
I cringe.
So when he was really persistent on, no, come on.
I wasn't persistent. I was like, you drove this way, like, well, fuck it, we're already here, might as well do it. I wasn't like, we have to.
No, you weren't like have to, but you were very much like, come on, let's go do it. Where Chris is usually the opposite again, and he would be like, oh no, fuck it, we're just gonna do it on this little grass section and call it a day.
Yeah, it looks good enough.
So,
just a picture.
Yeah, so that's where I was kind of like, okay, and then you were like, babe, I'll bring an extra bag, give me your heels, just wear some, like wear your Adidas up there, right?
Yeah.
And then you held my shoes.
Like,
and
she was like, can I wear heels here? I'm like, just wear your running shoes and bring your heels in the bag. And I was doing the same thing. I was wearing a more expensive pair of sneakers than your heels.
Yes, he was.
So I put them in my bag too.
Poppy. Yeah, so that was that. Oh, sorry, girly. So then we get up there, and then it was really sweet, the whole thing. We get up there, and Kelvin first was like, okay, Court, you go over on this rock. I'm gonna do some like individual photos of you. I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm just on this rock, like doing my thing. And then he's like, okay, go up to like the second rock. And it was kind of like angled like this. So then I go up to that rock. And then he's like, okay, now go up to like the highest point and turn around. And I want to get you like your back and you looking out to the view. And I was like, okay. So then I do that. And then take it away.
Yeah, and I mean, this whole time we had another person in a bush.
Oh yeah,
She never noticed. So I walked up and she turned around and I like jokingly took a video of the guy in a bush and then panned to her, and she had no idea that he was back there.
Yes,
Because
okay.
Calvin brought a buddy of his that he found in Arizona, I guess. And then I didn't even know this was all of what Calvin had in mind though. Cause he's like, go there, go there, go there. And then he looks at me, he's like now. And I'm like, holy fuck. And I had pictures on my phone of him circling and telling me where to go and shit, but it looked different in person. And I had also brought up a speaker from the room. You knew I had the speaker though. I was playing like random music on the,
when I was
on the speaker, but it was quiet and it was out of the way. So I grabbed it and I had our song that we like first like, what equivalent of our cheese stick song, you know?
Don't say that.
It's
the sweetest ever.
Yeah.
And he played the song.
Yeah, so I played that song and I just like blasted at full volume, brought the speaker up, and then Calvin like sprinted backwards, and then I went behind her. She's still facing the other way, like hands in the air or something, taking those like white girl photos.
No,
like
I
that.
was just like playing with my hair and like looking out to the horizon.
And then I got down on one knee and just like, it was pretty quick, and you heard the song and you were like, why is this music still loud, what's going on? And she turned around and I was there waiting.
You said babe.
I said babe?
You're like babe?
I was like babe, yeah. I was fucking nervous too. The whole day I remember we were like, was I sick or did I have allergies? I was kind of sick.
Were you?
Yeah, remember? Because we laid down before and she was like lying down like having a nap because it was a long day. We were up early. We went on a hike and everything. And I just was, my heart was like racing. I was thinking what I was gonna do, I was gonna work, how I was gonna stay. I was like, fuck, there's a lot of moving parts coming together right now.
A lot of pressure for a guy.
It is a lot of pressure for a guy.
You did great.
Pressure's a privilege.
Oh God, no, but yes.
But yeah, so I was pretty fucking nervous for sure. But I had like a thought of things I was gonna say, and then it all just kind of lost my mind, and I said something completely different. But I was happy with what I said. At least my words were articulated properly. I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me, and then she's just like, I think you were in shock at the time.
I was.
You were just. I expected you to cry right there.
Yeah, no, I cried.
No, you cried everything, so I expected the tears immediately, but it was like shock of like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
That's how I knew you didn't know too, because it was genuine like shock.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then after we were talking about it, and like our time together, and like all the shit we've been through, I'm gonna cry. And it was just a lot. It was like it was a really beautiful, special moment. We haven't shared like, I mean, I've kind of shared like online little things that happened in our time. Hi, Poppy, it's okay. When we broke up and stuff, but we went through a lot together, and like that it just was like the best moment of my life. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Really
it kind of gave me a different perspective on the whole idea of marriage too. I'm not one for social constructs. Courtney's like, oh my god, here we go. But like, I was like, I've already I committed my life to her in my mind, and we speak about this. We're very open with how we communicate, but like still the act of like doing that and like seeing her that happy and seeing like the happiness that brought to her made me feel like, wow, fuck, this really is like a lot more meaningful than I understand. And I think that's more meaningful than a wedding, personally. That's like, and I think that like promise that you make to your partner that you're going to spend forever with them, and like it's a vow, you know, that you were like actually choosing to spend forever, and it's gonna get shitty, it's gonna get hard, and you're not gonna give up on them like no matter what. Like that, I think that is important. And is it almost important to have like a vow locking that in rather than just being like, well, I told you I'm gonna do this, you know?
Yeah.
It's like more real than that. And I think a lot of people don't understand that right now, how difficult relationships are meant to be.
Yeah, I feel
like want to quit or feel like it might not be right, and to have fear and all these things, but to like never actually quit, and like the love being the fact that you were never quitting, you know, that's like really the one thing that holds it together.
Yeah.
You have to love each other, of course, but a lot of that is a lot of work.
It is, and people see on social media like, oh my god, relationship goals is perfect, beautiful thing, and like, yes, like why love is beautiful, there's a lot of like work and effort, and we've chosen to be.
Yeah, you have to have a base foundation of love, but a lot of that after is choice and a lot of work.
Yeah, which we definitely have been through.
Yeah.
So.
Especially if you're gonna share someone everything of your life, like the one person you share all the good and all the bad, and to share that much bad of yourself, you kind of hope that they're like chained to you, you know, like they're not gonna run away if you show them every little bit inside of you, because you know, but if they love you, they will, and you make it work.
Yeah, so it was just like the best moment ever. And then at first, like he said, I was in shock, like what's happening? And then after, we were like talking about just our years together, and like both crying and like sharing like.
When did you first cry, at dinner? Or when we went?
Yeah, like before we walked into dinner.
Oh yeah, before.
Because he proposed, and then like we came back down the little 4-minute hike and then went to dinner, and we were just like talking about our life.
Yeah.
It was a really beautiful moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're amazing. And I love you very much.
Love you too.
You're the best ever.
Alright.
But yeah, and then we have like this little potato down here, just like making noises the whole time. Say hi, poppers. Yeah, we're a family. So nice. And that was it. Do you have anything else to add?
I think so. No.
Yeah.
I explained most of it. Do you have anything more from your perspective?
You know, just like the moment that happened, it didn't like change our relationship, but there was this like sense of commitment, I feel. I don't know if you feel that, like, but I don't know, you said like you were already committed. It just felt more Like, wow,
Yeah.
you know?
And I'm not a big communicator, and she knows that. So like I have like beliefs and things I do like with absolute will inside my mind, but I'm not one to communicate it. And I do think it's important at times to put them out more into like symbolic events and words and things like this, which kind of represent a different level of, you know, not more or less than any commitment you have in your mind, but just a different version of it.
Yeah.
And obviously communication when there's another person that can't read your mind is important. So yeah, I think it was, I don't know, very special. And like I said, to me, that was more meaningful than like a wedding even.
Yeah, everyone's like, so when are you planning the wedding? Like, when is it? I'm like, I don't know, 2 years. Like, I don't really care. Like, I care, obviously, but I don't.
You care, you're already planning it.
I care. I'm looking at stuff, obviously, but I'm not like, oh my God, we need to do it like here, this, then, now,
You're not
you
in a
know.
rush, yeah.
No, I'm not in a rush. But yeah, just taking it all in. So this is our belated engagement video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for making a cameo appearance on my channel.
Thanks for featuring me on your channel.
By every video, every 6 months.
Yeah, time to lock it in. You guys gotta force her to make more videos. She wants to. It's in her will to want to. She just needs a little kick in the ass.
I do, yeah, for
She shouldn't
sure.
listen to me, so.
You guys need to tell me what you want to see. But yeah, that's it. Bye. Hi beauties. Thank you so much for watching that engagement video that I got to do with Christopher. I truly do want to do more YouTube, and it was so fun to film that and just share a little bit of our engagement and how it went down and what happened. If you have any other questions, drop them below so I can do more of like a chatty girl video with you guys. But it was a really beautiful time, and it was just so special, and sharing that moment with Christopher and just hearing him even like talk about it again made me emotional. Even thinking about it makes me emotional. Not the engagement, but just like the journey we have been on and everything that kind of happened in our relationship and how it really grew us together stronger as individuals and as a couple. And I'm just really blessed to be here at this point in my life. I also want to make note that when I uploaded the video and I was going back kind of like not editing but rewatching it and whatnot, cutting a little bit of the beginning, the lighting was total in and out crap, from really brightly exposed to kind of like normal light to really exposed. I just threw the camera up in my living room, so I'm sorry if it was kind of like annoying. And also something I noticed, I kept playing with my hair. Maybe it's because I was like YouTube shy and I'm like, ooh, getting back on YouTube. But I also just washed my hair today and it is so frizzy in Florida. And every time I wash my hair, I'm constantly like running my hands through it to try to take out some of the frizz, the big frizz. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, I appreciate you. And yeah, thank you for allowing us to share this with you guys. So comment below any questions. I will do a chatty girl wedding engagement video, any questions you have, and also give your girl some advice when it comes to planning, things you wish you would have known if you've been married or if you've been engaged, things you wish you would have planned for better, what you loved, what you didn't love. I would love to know, so comment below, and thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.